409 The Heat Sports presents Mad Sports. We are back for another episode. I am your host, David Hicks, and as always, my partner,
Richard Astros James. How about them Astros? Clinching the American League West. We don't care. We don't talk about baseball on this show.
Oh, man, that's cold-blooded.
At least till October. How about them Cowboys? That's what we're talking about. Someone adjusted my helmet whenever it was not on set. But got the hard hat on today because, unfortunately, we're sitting in the middle of an area that was impacted by Tropical Storm Imelda. So, in honor of all those people out there working hard, we're wearing the hard hat tonight.
We do want to give our thoughts and prayers. I know that is a cliche thing to say, but we really do. To everybody that's struggling here in Southeast Texas, Houston, anybody affected by this last tropical storm that just hit last week. I know that this area has been affected a lot in the past with Hurricane Harvey and all things going on.
So many are just recovering.
And a lot of those same families, I know I was just on the highway off I-10 yesterday with a few customers of mine through the years that are going through it again. So really, we just want to take this time to just say to anybody that needs any help, please do not hesitate to reach out to any of our social medias that you see, any of the pages that you guys follow. If you need any immediate assistance, anything like that, there's a lot of us that are doing a lot of donation things. We have a food, we're going to feed some people here in the next few days. So if you'll just follow our social media, 409 The Heat, the radio station, is going to be doing some stuff. There's a lot of people coming together in Southeast Texas. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Even though he does have a Dallas Cowboys thing on, it is still a hard hat. And I know him personally, got out there and helped a bunch of people when Harvey was here.
Right.
Just getting in the houses. And if you need help, this is the time. Please don't be that person where I don't ever ask for help.
Right.
Reach out and help your fellow man.
It's a long recovery process. When the cameras go away, the media dies off, people are still struggling for not only months, but years to try to recover from some of these. So it's a long, tedious process for a lot of people.
I know in December, which is a little ways off, my partner DJ Hug and I will be doing the Make It Matter toy drive, which last year with Toys for Tots was a huge thing. So we'll be collecting those toys again for families that were affected again. And so just be following our social media. We are here now to bring smiles to people's faces because that's what we're here to do, and that's what we do on a weekly basis. So we hope y'all enjoy the show. For all those out there that are struggling, we're here tonight to bring you the best entertainment we can. You should be laughing already at this knucklehead over here with this hat on. So,
all right, Odell Beckham with the earrings and watch.
You know what I'm saying? boy, Allen. Anyway, we're going to get to that in a minute. We'll be right back. After a brief pause, it's 409 The Heat Sports presents Mad Sports. Welcome back to Mad Sports, brought to you by 409 The Heat Sports and Tacos La Bamba. 2005 Calder Avenue in Beaumont, Texas. That's Avenue, not Avenue, but that's all right. 409-838-6222.
Their tacos are awesome.
I've personally been there. I love that place. Not only do they do stuff for the community all the time, they have all kinds of things from wrestling to music to you name it. I've been out there for some awesome events. The people over there are just wonderful people. They've been in the community for a long time. Don't forget on Thursdays, it's dollar tacos. That's all you got to say. I got $1.
I'll be seeing you. I'm going to go hit some tacos. You got this covered?
I love it. Let's go. You might as well because I know all we're going to do is talk about Dallas Cowboys. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Richard, Dallas Cowboys, James over here.
Dallas might as well just stay in Miami for that game in February they'll be playing in. Called the Super Bowl. Just go ahead and
I'm just glad we're indoor and it's not storming anymore because the lies being spewed. Well, you know, I can't even argue right now. I don't think they are the best team in the league, but they look like one of the top 3 right now.
I'm glad you're slowly coming around.
No, I'm not coming around to anything. I'm just giving facts. Dak was 19 for 32 with 246 yards. He did not come out to play till the second half. Now, from what I heard, it wasn't even Dak. There was somebody else in his uniform in the first half, and he just took a nap because they were in Miami.
Actually, it was a testament.
That's that party in Miami at
I'm
night.
going to give a testament to the Dolphins players. So many people said Miami has lied down for the year and quit. Those players have not quit. They came out playing hard and put up a real contest.
That first half, my pick of the plus 21.
You were on. It was looking good.
I was dancing through my house after church. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be talking big mess. That's okay, because I found out they play 2 halves.
2 halves, and
this
Dak
is a new thing,
like you alluded to.
He started. Dak came out
in the second half for the year.
He pulled a Glenn Rice.
29 of 32 for 91% passer rating.
Dak pulled a Glenn Rice. And those y'all don't know Glenn Rice. Glenn Rice, when he used to play for the Charlotte Hornets, we'd always joke by halftime would take all of his ankle weights off and he'd come score 42 in the second half. He did that. He was 19 for 32, 246 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. The thing that impresses me the most right now about the Cowboys is 476 total yards. 241 of those were pass, 235 rush.
Good balanced attack.
The balanced attack is nasty, and the two-headed monster at running back right now. Look, Zeke going to Cabo and not playing the entire preseason might have been one of the best things for them, because Tony Pollard got all the starts and got to also practice with the first team. He was 13 attempts for 103 and 1 touchdown.
And he's only a rookie.
Only a rookie. He averaged in the game 7.9 yards per carry, and Zeke only averaged 6.6 yards per carry. He got more carries, but at 125 yards. Those two together are really nasty.
It's a two-headed beast.
They looked really good. That's enough of that.
And that takes the pressure off Zeke, because he can stay fresh into the third and fourth quarters when the defenses wear down and really open up some yardage. Are you going to be okay? You getting sick over there?
Too much.
Well, don't worry.
I talk too much about the Cowboys.
Panthers are going to get theirs, because you're like how's it feel to be like the Cowboys this week and be on a winner's seat?
Give me a second.
You're going to be just fine.
I'm good now. Okay, so
they're in there with the Texans, the Saints, and the Cowboys. All the local boys did well.
All the local teams, even if I did pick against the Texans, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, let's go to my Panthers. 38-20.
Hey.
Look, check this out.
What happened?
No, listen.
No scarves
Listen,
this week?
listen. He was 19 for 26, 261 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Cam is back. He is back to MVP quality. The boy was balling. Look at these stats. Look, he was. Oh. That was Allen. I'm sorry. I had the wrong stats. I'm going back. Let me turn the page back here. That wasn't Cam. My man Allen, Kyle Allen, we appreciate you.
University of Houston.
I'm just saying, U of H, stand up. Thank you. And you know what? From what I saw on social media, Cam didn't play the diva role and come out and be like, woe is me, I'm so upset. You know, a lot of QBs, wide receivers, a lot of superstars do not like the other guy to get the shine.
Right.
But he didn't do that. Came out, congratulated. He did what he should. Whatever he's feeling inside, he came out and made, the team together and gave the right speech.
And he's even sitting out this coming week. So.
Yeah, and so, look, is Allen gonna light the league up? Probably not, but came out with a really
good
game.
This past week.
Chiefs right now, to me, are one of the most complete teams out there. 33-28. This was the battle that we are going to see later in the playoffs. It was, to me, almost a perfect game by two teams. It was almost a perfect game by 2 teams. Had to hesitate there for a minute. It was all that Cowboys talk earlier.
Has you tongue-tied? Do I need to take over here?
No, I just have a bad taste in my mouth.
Oh, it's a good taste.
You know what?
Keep feasting. Cowboys are going to feast all year.
Sip my teeth.
It's going 4-0 next week, but we'll get to that. So, the Chiefs look good, but their defense is still not 100% there, in my opinion. So that's going to be a weakness for them, and even a little bit a suspect when it comes to when the Patriots come to town.
Yeah, that's going to be their big thing. There was only 11 penalties. There was no turnovers by both teams. This whole game, to me, was such a solid game. Lamar Jackson threw well, 267 yards. Mahomes right now.
Jackson, who can't throw?
Yeah, from what I heard.
The running back they have for a QB?
He's playing ball right
Exactly.
now. Ingram was the difference maker for the Ravens. 16 carries, 103 yards, and 3 touchdowns. They got to shore that up.
Yeah, one day the NFL will take their time in making judgments because you've got Lamar Jackson being called out last year as not being able to throw, and then in the draft you pick Trubisky above Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, makes no sense.
So where are the experts?
We're sitting right here at this table for Mad Sports, even though we did talk too much Cowboys and have thrown off my whole thing tonight.
Well, go ahead with those Panthers.
Let's talk about Houston. We talked about the Panthers. They got a victory. That's as far as I want to go with them. I don't want to jinx them any more than they already are. Houston, 27-20 over the Chargers. The Chargers are a good
win.
team. It's on the road. Tough game. Chargers are one of those teams, if you have their quarterback at Rivers in your fantasy team, he's always putting up numbers.
Numbers, right.
He just doesn't put up wins. That's their problem. He threw 31 for 46 for 2 touchdowns. Watson, 25 for 34 for 351 yards.
And
3
actually
touchdowns.
got a little help from his line this week for the first time, which looked a lot better.
I think the biggest problem I saw out of Houston is 39 yards rushing.
Yeah.
You don't have a rush game for nothing.
Who's your running back?
Nobody.
Exactly. That's
They've
part of the
asked
problem.
me twice. I turned them down. And Hopkins had 0 touchdowns. He has not shown up to be the Hopkins we all think he is and what everybody says he is.
We have a few extra in Dallas.
I mean, we can't move on.
Oh, we can move on. Texans, go ahead.
Jeez. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You at home? I'm sorry. Anyway, great game though. Look, I'm just going to brag on him because I got him in fantasy and he's killing teams for me. Keenan Allen, 13 receptions, 183 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's
This
good.
dude is balling right now. So he was very impressive. There's a few more games we're going to go over, and we're going to talk about some highlights from last week. Remember, we're brought to you by also Reliable Copy Service, 2498 Washington Boulevard in Beaumont, Texas. For all your copy needs, they're being there when you need us. We'll be right back with Mad Sports.
Hello, my name is Devron Roberson. I'm the owner and technician at Elite Phone Repair. We're a cell phone, tablet, computer repair store in Beaumont, Texas. Fix all makes and models of phones, all laptops, tablets, any kind of repair needs you would have on most electronics we can do for you. We've been here since 2016. I've been doing phones for about 8 years though. We also do network unlocks to your cell phone, customization of the phones as well, which is, changing the color of the iPhone. That's strictly for iPhones, but we do repair, like I said, all makes and model of phones. You can call us anytime at 409-338-6081 or stop by at 2215 Calder Avenue in Suite 201, and that's in Beaumont, Texas.
Welcome back to Mad
Dallas
Sports.
Cowboys show. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Mad Sports.
That's
featuring the Dallas Cowboys.
That's why he got fired from Happy Sports, because he kept interrupting people. Now he's on Mad Sports and he's starting to pick. Ooh, I'm sorry, Lord. I'm gonna calm down because I know he's Dallas Cowboys James. Let's talk about it. I think the Rams are unimpressive 3-0. What's your thoughts?
I agree.
Exactly.
Think they're overrated.
They just don't. They haven't shown me anything. They beat the Browns 20-13 in one of the most lackluster, overrated games of the season. And to me, it drives me crazy that all the experts, Browns, that's all they heard all summer was about the Browns, and they have not impressed me at all.
Not yet. In fact, he should have just run the ball at the end of the game. It was wide open. They had 2 guys on the line on the end. The middle was wide open. You should have done like Daniels.
Who's their quarterback for the Browns?
I don't
Brady
know
Quinn?
anymore.
Something
Some
like that?
college
One
player.
Of those dude.
We're going to get in so much trouble.
I mean, I'm just saying, like.
I like Brady.
Look, Baker Mayfield, I get it. He's supposed to be this baller. I get it. Okay? But you chugged beer all summer. You made he's already in all the commercials. Cool. But show me something on the field.
I don't know if you blame him or you blame Freddie Kitchens. That's where they're spreading it around, so it's yet to be seen.
I get it. Go get all your commercial money. I do the same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
But show me something. And it was really telling. The announcers were saying, look, if he doesn't throw it within 2 seconds, They're done.
They're done. But he needs to learn to throw it within 2 seconds. That's what's made Brady so great.
Well, they have no
he's
offensive
2 seconds or less.
at all. He was on a back pedal every time he threw the ball when he held it for like 2.5. He's on a back pedal. Do you think his
height's an issue? You can't see over linemen down the field because
I think the Browns are the issue because it's the Browns.
Because you can't blame the defense. No. Most of the secondary was out. And they still held up and played. So it's all on the offense.
Okay, let's talk 49ers. They are 3-0 for the first time since 1998. They get 5 turnovers and still win the game on Sunday. Are they for real?
I think they are. I think they're showing really well. I like them.
Garoppolo's emerging out of nowhere.
Yeah,
is showing.
End of last season wasn't looking great.
Yeah, and he had a few minor injuries here and there. I've really been impressed by them so far. Okay, here's another team 3-0, the Buffalo Bills.
They're exciting. They're a surprise to me. I did not see that coming.
Josh Allen and Frank Gore, or as I like to call them, the who of Madden 2K19, because you're not picking that team, and when you do, you're like, who do we have?
I still think of Frank Gore, the 49ers. Gore. How old is he now?
At least 48, if not more.
So much for running backs.
Running backs are like dog years too,
exactly.
Because you got to add 7 years.
He's still holding it down.
I've been impressed by the Bills. Right now, to me, it's Chiefs, Pats, Cowboys are your top 3 teams, and you could, let's just. I got to give it, whether you hate him, love him,
I like
whatever.
that because you named 2 AFC teams and 1 NFC team, so we've got one lock on the Super Bowl.
Brady passes Breeze for 522 touchdowns, become the second most passing touchdowns in history. Brady is ageless.
He's playing like he's 24 instead of 42.
It's ridiculous. His lady is keeping him young and smooth and healthy, I guess, because he's out here still balling and getting it done. Let's just go down my list real quick. I have a few stats here, and I'll go through teams. Arizona. Give me one word to describe Arizona. The Cardinals. Trash, exactly. Next team. Give me one word to describe the Washington Redskins.
I have a comment on the Washington Redskins.
Nope, next.
They have a player, Mr. Irrelevant. That's what you call the last person drafted in the draft. And he's actually a local boy from Lake Charles here. Oh. And it's something that discussed in a previous segment, previous episode about the NFL. Showcase some of these guys.
And actually talked about him. He played really well.
Exactly. Mr. Irrelevant to now a starting slot receiver for the Washington Redskins at 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. There's still hope for anybody. And so what's his secret to get there? It'd be an interesting story, but a local guy representing well.
The problem is I threw his team over there.
You did. Well, the team is trash. But
Denver Broncos. You know what word I describe them?
It starts with a T.
Trash. All right. Pittsburgh Steelers. Trash. 0-3. Not happy.
Maybe hope.
Trash. Cincinnati Bengals. A perennial playoff team. You know what they are this year? Trash. And of course, our favorite team of the year to pick on, the Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Trash. And if I had one more note, I'd throw Cleveland over there too. Those are my trash teams of the week. And we'll be back with my trash picks of the week, because right now, that's what my picks look like. All the trash I just threw. We'll be right back with Mad Sports. The Heat Sports presents Everybody is Trash Show.
Except the Cowboys.
Also known as Mad Sports. Well, look, speaking of trash, my picks this year,
not looking so great.
We're a 500 team and we're dang proud of it. Thank you very much, because if I was a gambling man, I would still have all my money. It'd just be
You'd be
side
about
by
zero.
Side. Yeah. You came in with nothing, you left with nothing.
David's sitting at 23, 24, and 1 on the year. That's 23 wins, 24 losses.
And that one would have made me at 500.
It would have. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way.
That's right.
And then I'm sitting at 33 wins, 14 losses, and 1 tie. Kind of like the Cowboy season versus the Panthers
So you're
season.
saying it's close?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Very, very.
Saying it's close. So you're saying there's a chance.
It is a long season.
It's a long
We're
season.
still early. There's still hope. But let's get into this.
I even
week's-
thought about we should just say week by week, but
Well,
you'd
you'd
still be up
still-
3-0. Some BS.
Well, here's your chance to rectify that situation with this week's picks. Let's get to it because I'm excited about this.
Let's
We
go.
have Eagles at Packers.
I'm going with the Packers.
Figured that.
The Mr. Obvious
We've
pick
got-
of the week.
Your favorite Browns versus Ravens.
Browns versus the Ravens. I am going to go, drum roll please, the Ravens.
Yeah, we're both Ravens. We're both Packers.
This is gonna be hard for me.
Panthers versus Texans. This is a hard one for you.
This is a difficult one for me because my heart says Carolina. My head says Houston.
Houston's 13-3 over the last 16 regular season games.
And
looking better by the week.
looking better, and the
just beat the
simple
Chargers.
fact is Allen did well last week. That's what happens when a team doesn't
Have tape on you.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So with that being said, I'm going for my boys, Carolina Panthers.
You have to.
I have to because.
Well, they have a chance because the Texans have been known to blow quite a few games.
That's
when
right.
They should have won. So that's not a bad pick.
But you're going Houston. I'm sure.
going Houston, yes.
Yeah, I lost. All right, next.
I want to stay in the winning column.
Whatever.
Chiefs versus Lions.
Well, Captain Obvious pick of the week again. We're going Kansas City.
This is a pretty easy week so far. Patriots versus Bills, speaking of.
Now, this is not as easy of a pick as it seems because the Bills always give the Patriots trouble, and the Bills are 3-0 this year. So if the Bills are going to show
This is
that
their
they're a team
opportunity.
to do it, this is the opportunity. And with that being said, I'm still going New England.
Exactly.
Because I almost think the way their schedule's set up and their bank account, they might go undefeated this year. Just saying.
We both have the Patriots.
Yes.
Raiders versus Colts.
Raiders versus the Colts. I'm going Raiders.
Again?
Again.
They've left you hanging for quite a few weeks now.
I don't even care.
I'm sticking with the Colts. Jacoby's team now.
Yeah.
And he's showing some promise,
Yeah. Well,
even with Hilton being injured.
I said what I said, Richard, okay?
Giving you your opportunity to try and get back in this.
I won't.
All right. How about Chargers versus Dolphins? You want the points again with the Dolphins? That worked so well for you last week.
I'm going Chargers.
We're both with the Chargers. All right. Titans versus Falcons.
Titans versus the Falcons. Tennessee is trash. Atlanta is trash. But it's at Atlanta.
You didn't throw Atlanta on the floor over there, though.
No, because they have a victory. They've got one
Yeah,
victory.
they do.
That's why they didn't make the floor pile. The floor pile is those 0-3 teams. That's why they're on the trash. I'm gonna go with Atlanta.
We're both picking Atlanta.
All right.
Redskins versus Falcons. Redskins versus
I was
Giants.
like, wait a minute. Is there a different? There's two Falcons
Just
teams.
checking to see if you're paying attention over here. I'm just randomly shooting in the dark on your picks with the record you're
Hey.
showing this year.
Look, y'all have my word on this. Next week, you have my guarantee. If I don't come across with the winning record this week, I'm flipping a coin for each one of my games next week. You've heard it here first. And I'm going to have an 800 number y'all can call and get my
He's gonna
final
need
bets
it.
now. Now, what game are we picking now?
Giants, Redskins.
Giants, Redskins. I'm going Giants.
I am too. With Daniels, he's given new life to that team, new hope.
New
the
life.
locker room's fired up. They're ready.
Barkley's hurt.
18-point comeback.
Did Barkley look heavy to you?
He did look heavy.
He looked a little heavy to me.
But it's okay. He came back without him, so I think they're going to do well. And the Redskins are in your trash pile. So
They
we know
are in my trash pile, so
how that's
nobody
going.
gets picked from the trash pile.
How about this? Will be an interesting pick. Buccaneers versus Rams.
I am going with the Rams.
Oh, as am I.
You're really copying me this week, but it's cool.
Evidently, our records don't copy each
No,
other.
that's what I don't understand. He steals all my picks. And see, I need to watch him because he has the paperwork at the house. Something, you at home.
go back and watch
keep
those
it honest.
episodes.
Check the tape. Next game.
Seahawks versus Cardinals.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
As am I. Vikings versus Bears.
I don't want to pick them.
Don't do it.
I don't want to pick them.
Don't do it.
But we're at Chicago. I'm going Chicago, baby.
You just
Dub Bears.
Trubisky?
No, you saw what they did to those Redskins
Which are where?
over there in the trash pile.
Exactly.
That gave them new life.
All right, I have the Vikings. And
Good.
They're a loss
There's
for
my
David.
There's my win column.
Jaguars versus Broncos.
Well, Jacksonville's going to go up there and get too high for the game, so we're going Denver.
I'm on the Minshew bandwagon. So
Hey, well,
Minshew and his mustache. I'm going Jaguars. We're going to roll your Broncos.
You can Minshew a loss.
Right down the mountain for you. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm putting you down for Broncos. Another loss. Next we have Cowboys versus Saints.
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. The Cowboys are one of the top 3 teams right now in the league.
Oh my gosh.
They are on a roll. They are firing on all cylinders. The Saints don't even have Drew Brees right now. This team is at a disarray. With that being said, I'm going New Orleans Saints for the win this week. Let's go. How about them Saints?
It is Dallas's toughest competition of the year so far. So we'll see how this goes. Of course, I'm picking the Cowboys.
To be honest, the Cowboys have really showed me their overratedness with who they've beat right now. So we're going Saints.
Going Saints. There's a litmus test. Okay, all we have left is the Monday night game, Bengals versus Steelers. And you threw both those teams on the floor.
Both of those teams are over there. So technically, hold on, I'll be right back.
This should be interesting. You can go ahead and start your coin tossing now. What if that's Atlanta or somebody?
It's not.
Yeah, because Atlanta's not on the floor.
Whoever this is, we're going to go with them.
I have the Steelers, by the way, just in case he happens to have pulled the Steelers.
We're going Cincinnati, baby. Come on.
Bengals.
At Pittsburgh. Trash. And those are David Hicks's winning picks of the week. You can call me for all those
Don't
picks.
put your money there.
800-500 WeWinGames.com. We'll be right back with Mad Sports.
You're mad.
You know it takes a little time to take this life and make it mine. You know I'm close 'cause I can feel it in my spine. You know I care, you know I'm trying, but I don't wanna waste my time. Just know that I don't wanna waste my time.
409 The Heat Sports presents Mad Sports. We are out of the NFL and we are talking college football. I spent a bulk of my Saturday actually watching some college football games this week. It wasn't as busy as I usually am, and I really enjoyed myself. There were some good games on this weekend. Right off the bat, is there any game that you want to just talk about that you enjoyed more than others? I will say that USC over number 10 Utah.
Yeah, that was a great.
With a backup quarterback and Matt Fink, 21 for 30 for 351 yards and 3 touchdowns. Michael Pittman Jr., 10 receptions for 232 yards. That's one reason I love college football, because some of the stats will be outrageous.
Exactly.
And they put on just a great game. They were unranked.
Never out of it. You could be down 30 points in the fourth quarter and still have a shot.
Unranked, and you beat the number 10 team in the nation. And a USC program that is definitely trying to grow and trying to strengthen again. I mean, you know, it was a long time ago, but it seems like yesterday when we were talking Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush, and a USC team that was, buying their players way more than they. Oh wait, sorry, I shouldn't have said that on camera. No, a USC team that was really good, and you just don't see them anymore.
Reggie Bush is now an ESPN analyst.
He was sitting between both of them.
Exactly.
So I just want to say that was a great game. Auburn over A&M, that was a good game.
Yes.
28-20. Let's be honest, A&M should have stayed in the Big 12.
Yeah,
they are never going to be able to compete with the monster teams of the SEC without either paying more or recruiting better or whatever they're doing. coaching, whatever it is.
Or having Johnny Football in the backfield.
That's the only time they were relevant.
Need them back.
That's
the only time they had a shot.
Only time they had a shot. When they were relevant. And they never were a prominent team in the Big 12.
Right.
So when they went to the SEC, you were like, oh, I don't think it's the right move.
It wasn't, yeah.
And then Johnny Manziel comes and puts them on fire. And now all of a sudden they're this big talk of the town. They haven't made anything since.
Yeah, they have to work on recruiting or something to try to.
And they're ranked, and that's good.
It is good.
But when you're a Texas A&M, you want to be competing for those top 4 spots, and they just every year are not making it happen. Speaking of competing and growing and re-strengthening their team and are rebuilding, Texas wins over Oklahoma State 36-30.
Moving them, they're now 11th in the rankings.
In a shootout. Oklahoma State, for whatever, and I've got family that went to Oklahoma State. In fact, my Uncle Wendell was Pistol Pete for many years. The Oklahoma State Cowboys runs deep in my family. Love them to death, love the campus. I almost played basketball there. So I have a special place in my heart for Oklahoma State. But that game was a shootout. Oklahoma State's offense is always high-powered.
It is. That's always a good game.
They remind me a little bit of Texas Tech with that just throw the ball around and let's play football, man. They just, every year, whether they're ranked or not, they're going to give you a good game. And that was a solid game.
Exactly.
Ellinger, again, 20 for 28, 281 yards, 4 touchdowns, 10 rushes for 70 yards. Just a great game out of Texas. They look better and better every week.
Exactly.
I think that game versus LSU a few weeks ago that they lost, I think they dropped
still a win.
They dropped way too low me in the rankings.
Exactly. They're
for them
working
to
their way
catch
back
up,
up.
even if some teams lose some games.
Right.
You know, it's so hard once you lose that one game in college football. They've really got to. The game of the week, Georgia over Notre Dame. My question to you is, did Notre Dame show you the same Notre Dame in big games that they've showed the last few years?
It was a close game.
Yeah,
I thought,
or did they show, hey, maybe they've arrived on that national stage?
They showed me that they belong in the discussion, but they're still a step short of the top 4 teams, in my opinion. Top 5 if you throw in Ohio. So I still think they're a little short. Another one that was short is old Mr. Jim Harbaugh.
You know what? Before you get into him, because that is a good topic, but before you get into him, if you were the guy running your college, the athletic director or whatever they call him, I'm not good with the technical terms, but the guy who hires and fires.
Yes.
If you had a coach and you are a top 5 program, top 10 program, you are a national powerhouse, and over the last 5 years, your record has been 10-3. 10-3, 8-5, 10-3, and right now you are 2-1, and you are supposed to be a perennial powerhouse. Would you either fire or have that coach on the hot seat right now?
I'd have the coach on the hot seat, but I'd also look beyond the coach. What are we deficit in? What's missing? Because sometimes it can be a coordinator issue. It could be recruiting issues.
But we're talking 10-3.
10-3 is a good record for most.
It's a good record
not
for
if
most.
you're going to be a perennial powerhouse.
But not if you're Michigan.
Exactly. And with Michigan, the downside is Harbaugh's been a good recruiter.
So you stole my thunder a little bit
year,
by mentioning his name already, but that's okay. But that's who I'm talking about. Those are his records.
Right. And every year in the top first, second, and third round in the NFL, Michigan has players being drafted.
They do.
He's recruiting great players. So the talent is there. The recruiting's there.
They've lost the last 3 bowl games, which I know it's
1-6 on the road against ranked opponents.
Bowl games are hard to judge because top teams that didn't make that Final Four, some of them don't even show up to play. They don't care. I get it, but still, you lost the last 3 bowl games. Like you said, his road record right now, he's 40-15 over the last 5 years, which is a winning record.
It's a fantastic record.
It's a fantastic record if you are Central Michigan.
And then here's the disconnect. He takes the 49ers to the Super Bowl.
That's right.
In the NFL, he has a winning playoff record, but in college, he doesn't. So sometimes coaches work in the NFL. Sometimes they
You have the commercials. You have the star power. You have the signature khakis. You have the name. You have all this going for you.
Exactly.
But your record does not show.
And had a great series on Amazon Prime.
You have all the intangibles.
You have all the intangibles.
You're the star. You're the dad bod of the week.
Dad bod of the week.
But you aren't getting the job done at Michigan. This is not.
Agreed.
This is not Ohio State Valley. This is not University of Charlotte. This is great if you're Duke football and you're 10-3. You're loving it right now. Texas
A&M may want them.
Would love 10-3.
Exactly.
10-3 would be amazing. But you're Michigan. You are supposed to be Michigan.
Right.
You are Michigan. Michigan sells jerseys and shorts and things to people that don't even like Michigan.
How much longer is this going to last if this trend continues? And that's what the university has to take into account is that's your future. That's your bread and butter. That's money to the university. That's recruiting in the future. So you have to take that into account.
His name's on the other side of this paper. And you know when I rip a paper out of my book, you know what happens. Jim Harbaugh, you've had 5 years. I'm putting a wrinkle in those pants, and we're throwing you to the trash pile. And that's all I have to say about that.
Sorry, Jim.
Hey.
It was a good run.
It was a good run. And you know what else
has great recruiting.
You know what else is great? Dollar Tacos at Tacos La Bamba, right off of Calder.
I'd like to recruit some
2005
tacos.
Calder Avenue, Beaumont, Texas. Remember, Thursdays are Dollar Tacos. You can order ahead at 409-838-6222.
What's that number again?
409-838-6222.
Don't mind me. I'm good.
Ordering some tacos because we're mad at sports and we're mad about some tacos. So go visit them out there on Calder, and we'll be right back after this brief commercial break. We are back. 409 The Heat Sports presents Mad Sports with David Hicks and
Richard James.
Oh, it's not Dallas Cowboys.
It's okay.
Oh,
we just went from college football to.
I thought we were always.
You were looking a little sickly earlier, so I didn't want to.
Middle name James.
I want you to make it through the show.
Well, look, let's get into it. Speaking of getting through the show, it's one of my favorite times of the show. Richard's Rants. Take it away, sir.
Thank you, sir. Well,
You're
NFL,
welcome, sir.
Don't destroy our hope. Don't take our hope away by lengthening the season to some ridiculous number of games. I know the discussions out there about taking 2 preseason games and turning them into regular season games, and you may slide by with that, but that starts us down a slope of having more and more and more games.
You go from 16 to 18.
And before long it's 20. And take out the fact that there's more chances for injuries or whatnot. The real reason for this is that every weekend, you, NFL, give us hope. We as an average person, we realize no matter what we wear, what we say, what we do, has no impact on the game. We can sit here and talk about the Cowboys all day. I have no impact on their performance.
I'm telling you that
he
much
can.
right now. I cannot sit here
He'll
all
be
day.
sick.
Yes, you saw what it did to me earlier.
But it has no impact, and we realize that. But we are into the games, and our week as a normal person can be a difficult grind. Seems hopeless. Same thing over and over. We have stresses. We look forward to that game, to cheering on our team, and we have hope each week that they can win.
Yeah.
Here's what happens if you throw in a bunch of extra games. You extinguish that hope. Look at baseball. 162 games. By the end of the season, there's 2,430 games. Who cares? You could lose 10, 15 games. Nobody cares.
Nobody.
Make it matter, as David likes to say. We have to make each game matter. So to that, I say, don't do it. NBA, they're a little better. Have half the number, 82 games. That's 1,230 games.
And you know, Silver's even talked about taking away some games. It'll never happen because of the money.
Happen.
But he said if it was 62, it would be even better because it would make it matter.
It would make it matter, and you'll pack the stands.
Yeah.
Look at the average attendance we have. Over 68,000 per game on average for an NFL game. NBA, of course, there's smaller arenas and stadiums. 18,000 on average. MLB, 28,000 on average.
Or 28, depending on
But-
if you're the Florida Marlins.
Yeah, if you're Miami, you're down to 10.
Yeah.
So
If you're
it's
the Devil
pitiful.
Rays, any of them
But
horrible basement.
let's
they're
just
over there
look
in
at the
trash
TV.
pile. There's 7 people in a. Right now, they've been out of it for
David likes his top.
They've been
Keep
out of
getting
it
in on
for
the rant
6
already.
months.
Yes.
You've been out of the playoff picture for 6 months, and you expect people to come to the game.
Shut up.
I'm not
See?
trying to steal your thunder, but
There you
this
go.
is a good rant.
Listen, make it
Yeah.
matter.
Gee.
Too many games.
Too
The
many
season's
games.
too long.
Yeah.
They start baseball January 1st and it ends next year April 1st or
Yeah,
something ridiculous.
crazy.
That's why
I
we
got
don't-
2 tax
that's why-
returns during last season. That's how long the baseball season
That's why
is.
we won't be talking baseball till October when it matters
when
again.
it matters.
Exactly.
And the Astros
So
are winning the World Series.
NFL every week matters.
It does.
You lose a game, that's a potential playoff spot,
Yeah.
potential playoff opportunity. Every game matters.
Yeah.
You as a fan are tuned in, you're excited. It makes a difference.
That's why college football is so exciting. You lose one game.
Exactly.
You could
Same
be out
thing
of
for
it.
college football. The only downside to college football is that there are over 774 college teams.
Yeah. And
So
it's
the
top
talent
heavy.
is
Yeah.
top heavy. So
Top
all your
heavy.
talent's congregated in a few teams and it's too spread out. And that's another point the NFL can take, which I was going to get to, is careful on the expansion teams. I know we want a few more teams in there, but you get too many, you dilute the talent,
Yeah.
and you
And
ruin the league.
We
Then
got
it's
the
a-
XFL coming.
I mean,
if
you
you want
already-
more football,
Exactly.
you got the XFL.
You can-
Vince McMahon's got you.
For those that want more,
Antonio
there's
Brown,
opportunity for more.
he's got you.
He's got you.
He got you. When you
I mean-
graduate from school, then he went back to, he can go play for the XFL.
The NFL is already top heavy with the Cowboys sitting up there and the Patriots, but that's another topic. Sticking to the rant, that's what I have to say is you give us hope every week, NFL. Please keep that hope alive because we live and die with you. You win, we win. You lose, we lose. But we look forward to next week because we know it's going to matter and we have a chance to win again. So for half the year, for 6 months, I'm hopeful. I have something to look forward to in my daily life. No matter what's going on, I'm excited about one day of the week to go see my team. And because each game matters, I'm interested in the other games as well. If I'm watching baseball and I'm not living in Seattle, I have no idea what that team's doing.
I have a great question then, and I know we are making baseball fans upset, and I get it, and I really
Sorry.
don't care.
America's pastime. I apologize.
That is my question. In the 1930s, it was America's
It was.
pastime. The guys went off to war. This was America's game, and I get it. I understand the history, and I like baseball to a certain point.
Right.
And it's fun. The postseason is awesome if you're one of those 7, 8 teams that's in there, how many ever teams, I don't even know. But the problem with baseball right now is
Doesn't matter.
their MVP got hurt just recently from last year. And when they named him, I had no clue who he even was. They don't market the players half the time. There's 72 players on the team that you don't even know. And half the time they're sitting. Look, if you could sit
from the
for
minor
3
league.
hours of your game, it's an activity. This is an activity.
I think our rant just went to
Look, the rant
ranting
just-
on baseball.
Look, yeah, and I have a whole different
I have a
rant
whole
here.
different rant.
But while we in the
you
subject,
get 2.5 rants
you get
this
a-
week.
Look, and I love the Astros, and I want them to win. Look, I was a huge Oakland Athletics fan growing up. I was a big Yankees fan growing up. One of the big problems I have around here is I remember growing up as a kid in North Carolina, we would go see the Charlotte O's play, and we would see the Greensboro Bats play. These were those small farm team AAA games.
Golden Gators here back
They
in the
were
day.
the most fun. We saw Derek Jeter come through the Greensboro Bats. I remember him. I got an autographed glove you can't even read anymore, but the whole team signed it. Those games were awesome. You'd see some of the best come through, and it was so much fun. But as you say, they got 272 games a year. And within a month, you know if your team sucks or not. You're like, look,
Exactly.
we just went on a run. We won 18 in a row. Oh, we lost 42 in a row. Oh, we won 6 in a row. We lost 7 in a row. It's just, it's so.
Like the Astros, as much as we like them, have lost 54 games this season.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's like 54 losses. Who cares?
Yeah, because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You know that you have 1,000 more
Right.
games
They have
to play.
102 wins.
Half the guys know they're not even coming out of the locker room half the time because they're like, all right, well, is it my turn to bat? No. Can I sit out this one, Coach? All right, cool. They don't care. Look, those injuries half the time are fake just so they take some time off. Speaking of which, that's a great segue, Richard.
Your rant.
Thank you.
Go
Into
for
my
it.
rant
That's
of the week.
1.5 rants into the second rant.
Look, my real rant of the week is we have got to do something about these fake injuries in college football. I'm talking to you, Texas Longhorns. There is a post on Facebook right now, and we will try to find it. And we will. Yes. Yeah. He looks to the sideline and falls to the ground. At least hold up the flyers and all the signs and the hand gestures. At least have the signal called better. Like grab your ankle or something as a coach so he knows. Man, look. I forget, it might have been Georgia. I'm not sure who it was, but I remember them coming off to it was Georgia game.
Georgia.
The big defensive lineman comes off. He's injured. He's falling on the ground, and then he gets up and he starts pumping up the crowd. And he's standing up. I was like, bro, they were ready to bring the cart for you. Your mom came down from the stand. She thought you were really hurt. It's so blatant. It is so blatant. And look, I'm a cheater like anybody else when it comes to sports. Look, if I'm playing basketball, I'm calling out the wrong score every time I'm giving us 2 points. I'm using 6 to 8 fouls a game, and I'm calling something weak if the game is on the line. I don't care. If you're not cheating, you ain't trying. That's what they said, right? That's what the old school football players used to say. I get it. But look, man, just don't make it so blatant. So, I will give Fred Fowler of 97.5, the Blitz talk show host, I will give him, I think it's the Blitz.
It is the Blitz.
Okay.
Yeah.
I cannot take credit for this idea, so I will give credit where credit is due. Fred Fowler said, we've got to stop it, so how do you do it? You can't penalize it, because there's no way to really know, because then you're getting into a whole nother thing. Is he really faking? Is he really injured? So I get it. So, instead of coming off for one play, you would put an end to this if you would take them off for the rest of that offensive or defensive series.
So we have a hockey penalty box now.
He's off for that series.
Right.
And with player safety as a big issue right now in football, if he really is hurt,
you're in the
sit
tent.
him off for a few plays. Yeah. Not a quarter, not a half or anything, but for that offensive or defensive series. Then you would have a lot of these fake defensive linemen or big guys taking these injuries because they can't catch up to the offense who's about to score on you. And that's what happens. Team gets on a roll, somebody's falling on the ground. It's like we're watching soccer in the World Cup.
Now the third stringer on the bench is called into the game to do the injury.
And that's what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen.
You have bruisers in hockey. They're just there to fight.
Who's that? I don't have him on my roster. He's got a jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on the ground.
The water boy is going to be suited up. Hey, look, they're running a high-tempo offense. You put number 3 in the game. Who's number 3? Don't worry about him. He doesn't even have his name on the back of his shirt. It's going to happen. But I think it's a great idea to tone down. They've got to look into this over the summer. They've got to look into it because it has gotten outrageous. The few games I watched this weekend, it happened blatantly 2-3 times.
It is comical, though.
It's so comical.
It's funny.
We running number 4? Number 4? Okay. Out. Cold. They ran number 4. It's ridiculous.
What injury do I have? As ankle? Oh, elbow. Okay.
Fake injury. Trash. And the trash pile is getting bigger and bigger. I'm just telling y'all, we've got to get a hold of it. Those are Richard's and mostly David's rants of the week. We'll be right back with the conclusion of this wonderful show we call Mad Sports. We're back. We are back. Mad Sports 409 The Heat Sports presents Mad Sports. You always got to remember who presents it. It's not just Mad Sports. 409 The Heat Sports presents it. And
Mad
409 The Heat Sports is not just Mad Sports. It is a sports takeover in this area for the 409. We cover everything from the NFL to your locals, to your local universities,
Even
to your
baseball.
high schools, even baseball. Look, wherever you see 409 The Heat Sports, you will see some of the hottest sports takes and some of the most fun. And that being said, this Saturday, you know where I'll be. I will be at the homecoming game for Lamar University. The hometown heroes. In fact, my daughter might be going to play soccer there. So
Nice.
I'm really going to be happy about that. And my son, unless he's playing at Duke, will probably be playing basketball there one day. Lamar is my team. We go to all the basketball games. We go to the football games. We've been to the baseball games. We support the women's volleyball, all of it. It's a great university. It's a great school. And their homecoming football game is this weekend. They're playing Stephen F. Austin,
Right.
which is a huge rivalry game. It's a conference game.
On top of that, a lot of people from this area have gone to Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah.
They're alumni of that school, so it really makes it even more
It's going to be a lot of
intense.
fun. I think the game's at 6 o'clock. So go out there this weekend and enjoy yourself. The high school schedules are a little up in the air right now with everything with the tropical storm. So you got to check your local listings, kind of what's going on around there. But the big game this weekend is Lamar University.
And they're not in the trash pile, which, by the way,
they're not in the trash
over here
pile.
at Fit Lab, we like to keep it clean, so I'm going to need you to clean all that up before you go.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
what I'll do
that's a
is
big
I'll take
pile.
that helmet right here, which is it's perfect trash receptacle. Anyway, so LU, let's go this weekend. We are rooting for you guys. We hope you enjoyed another episode here at Mad Sports. I hope all the baseball fans still follow our show after this
Yeah.
week, but if you don't,
Tune back in October. We'll get you.
We'll get you. We'll talk
cover
about the
you.
Astros winning the World Series because
Exactly.
hey, to be honest, we want them to win. It's just I got like 2 years more to wait, and it's the postseason already. Anyway, Mad Sports. We will catch y'all next weekend for another exciting show. Remember, we are brought to you by Tacos La Bamba off Calder. Every first Thursday is Dollar Tacos. Make sure you go get them. They're amazing and reliable copy services. We will see you next week. As always, I am David Hicks.
And Richard James.
Richard Cowboy James.
Right. Well,
Let's
we'll be
just-
talking lots of Cowboys with this victory coming up this next week.
Yeah, well, I saved one more piece. And that's Dak Prescott and Josh Cowboys. We'll see y'all next week. I'm out of here.